Last year was, I think, in recent memory, one of the worst campaigns we've had in a long time. The season started with a lot of promise. We had Steve Morrison as our new manager. He kind of overhauled the squad, brought in, I think it was 17 new players in the summer, some quite exciting signings from across the Championship. And then it all kind of fell apart quite quickly. Steve Morrison lasted about 10 games before he was unceremoniously sacked. We replaced him with Mark Hudson, club legend, who started quite well with a good result against Burnley, but then was clearly out of his depth. We then replaced him with Dean Whitehead for a couple of games, who basically looked scared on the sideline whenever he was in charge of the team. It's like, how did I end up here? And then we had Sabri Lamucci to see us through to the end of the season. And I think towards the end of the season, there were some good results. So we beat Watford away, we beat Rotherham away, which basically secured our safety. But I think last season promised so much and delivered absolutely nothing. And I think we were all very jaded by the end of the season. Going for somebody like Bullock represents a real step change for us. Our chairman's been very engaged on it and said that it's kind of his appointment. He's backing it. He's backing him in the transfer window and all that kind of good stuff. So he's got the fans excited. Obviously, first time in the Championship. Everyone knows the Championship is quite a ridiculous league. It could either be the best league in the world or the worst league in the world, but it's always open. It's always exciting. So it remains to be seen what he does and how he gets used to the Championship. But we've had 2 preseason games so far. He's got us playing with some inverted fullbacks, which is all very exciting. We've got fullbacks going into midfield positions. He's talked about playing a physical game, and some of the players we've signed so far are quite big, quite kind of bulky, and I think we look set to dominate from set pieces, and I think that's what Cardiff fans want, really. So he's talking the right game at the moment. Obviously, August the 6th, I think, is our first away game at Leeds. That's a long way away, so we'll see how pre-season goes, but most of the fans are excited and on board with him. So I think anywhere in mid-table would be an ideal first season for us under Bullock, an ideal first season for us after last year. But, like I said, the right transfers come in. If we get a goal scorer who's going to come and get us 20 goals, then that's the key in this division, really. I think when we had Kiefer Moore, he made such a difference because he scored 20 goals. If we don't get a striker who scores 20 goals, then mid-table's the dream. If we get a striker who scores 20 goals, then I don't see why we can't at least knock on the door for the playoffs for a little bit of the season.